Hey, it's Airsoft Mike, and do you know what? Sometimes I'm playing on my PlayStation or I'm watching a movie or a TV show and I see this really cool piece of kit on top of an assault rifle or whatever, and it looks so cool. It's something that they flip to the side or flip up when they want to use it, and it's normally sat behind an EOTech or something similar. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that? It looks like a scope, but they flip it up and they flip it down. What is that? So I did my research and I found out what they were. Remember, this is a few years ago, right? So I've decided I've got to get me one. And then I saw what the prices were and I thought, oh my gosh, yes, I could buy it, but that's way too much for Airsoft. And then, like always, I found a load of Airsoft rip-offs. Sorry, not rip-offs, Airsoft replicas. So I got one in. Yes, people, I've got my hands on a 4x flip to side magnifier. Let's get it open. Well, it may not have come in its own branded box, but it is pretty well packaged with the bubble wrap and the plastic and this stuff and the cardboard box that you saw. But anyway, what do we get? We get a cleaning cloth, some Allen keys, and the bad boy itself. Nice. It's my new 4x FTS magnifier. There's really not much more I can say about this other than you put this behind, say for example, an EOTech, and this magnifies the vision that you get through that device. This particular one is 4x, so obviously it means things are going to be 4x larger when you look through this bad boy. And as I mentioned, it's flipped to side. So let me just get it on one of my Airsoft rifles and show it to you in action. And there it is, people. How cool does that look? There it is, installed on my Honey Badger, behind my red dot sight right there. In fact, this is a red and a green dot sight, but right here is the magnifier, the 4x FTS, which means flip to side magnifier. Right, so for all of you that are interested, or you newbies out there, what the hell is a magnifier? Well, the clue's in the name. Basically, it's a 4x magnifier, so whatever sight you put this magnifier behind, it will magnify what image you get by 4. So you're in your CQB situation, you may not need any magnification. This is where the FTS comes into play, the flip to side. And that's that little contraption right here. So if I just pull it back right here, if I push my thumb down, watch what happens to this magnifier. Boom, it goes off to the side. And then, as you can see, you can look through your red dot sight without any magnification. Now imagine you're no longer in a CQB situation, your targets are far from you, and you need to be able to bring whatever you see in this sight a little closer to you so you can get a nice accurate shot. You simply push your magnifier back up, like so. So let me just show you that a little closer so you can see exactly what's going on when you do use this magnifier. So when I push it up like that, it simply locks into place right there. The thing about this as well is that it seems to be quite sturdy on the gun. It's not wobbling around. Yes, it's an Airsoft replica, or made for Airsoft. A fraction of the cost of the real thing, okay? But it's perfect for Airsoft. Will I be using this all of the time? No. Now, as a lot of you know, Airsoft has a lot to do with how things look. The simulation, the copy of real steel, okay? So, yes, you want your gear to work and be effective, and be fit for the purpose for which it was bought. But for airsofters like me, it's very much 50-50. Yes, 50%, it's gotta work, it's gotta do what it says on the box, but the other 50%, oh gosh, it's got to do with the look, how tactical it looks, how real it looks, how cool it looks. Now, for you more serious airsofters out there, let's get into a little bit more details into how you can set this up on your airsoft weapon of choice and how you can set it up effectively so that it works with the sight of your choice or scope of your choice. Now, as you can see there, this is sitting very neatly behind my red dot. But when you do put this on your airsoft weapon and sit it behind the scope or sight of your choice, it's not always going to be lined up properly. The windage and the elevation is going to be off. You may have your sight or scope set up nicely with the windage and elevation, but what about your magnifier? Not a problem. Even with this airsoft clone, you still have windage and elevation settings. Let me show it to you. Now, this particular magnifier came with its own mount, and on the side of the mount, you see that right there? That's where you would adjust your windage. But I could not for the life of me find out where the elevation was. And I was thinking, well, maybe it doesn't come with an elevation adjustment. Maybe it's that cheap of an airsoft clone, you can't adjust the elevation. Well, I was wrong, because if I flip the magnifier down to the side, that's where you adjust the elevation. Okay, so for this part of the video, I've turned down some of the studio lights so that you can see my red dot sight in action on its own. So there you go. If I line it up again, you can see the red dot within there. As I mentioned before, it's also a green dot. Hold on. There you go. But let me just stick to red. And just to show you that I have got my magnifier, which is right here on the side, lined up nicely with the red dot sight. If I push that up, and look, you can still see the red dot sight. Now, obviously, the camera's going to struggle with focusing, but when you look through this, you will see a pin sharp red dot. And of course, you will see a pin sharp image times by 4 out of the other end of your red dot sight, all down to this 4 times FTS magnifier. Now, I've got to say, although this is an airsoft clone, an airsoft replica, the build quality is pretty decent. Metal feels nice and sturdy. When it's on your airsoft weapon, there is no rattling or shaking whatsoever of this unit. It is not loose, it's nice and firm. It's been held very nicely by this clip right here. Very good. Now, what if you are a person that wears glasses, or even if you don't wear glasses? What if when you look through there, it's not that sharp? There's a little blurriness going on. Not a problem, because even on this airsoft clone, look, right here, you have your lens adjuster so you can sharpen up your image to suit your eyesight. And of course, this whole flip to the side mechanism is not just very cool, it is practical as well, because as I mentioned, if you don't want your view or your image to be magnified, you simply press that down, it goes to the side, you just use your normal red dot sight right here. But apart from that, it moves out of the way so that if you have other sights on your gun, you can push them up and use them as normal. Absolutely awesome. I'm absolutely loving this system now. Fantastic. I don't know why it took me so long to get one of these, because not only is it practical, if you're going to use it in situations where you do need things brought a little closer to your eyesight, but apart from that, it just looks so cool. Nice. Okay, so I've shown you all the pros and all the things that I love about this unit. What about the cons? Well, there's one or two. There's one or two things that I wish this unit had, but it doesn't. Yes, I could just go and buy another one where it does have it. Do I really need it? First being quick release. There's no quick release system on this unit at all. So if you wanted to take this entire thing off, you got to get a little flathead screwdriver and loosen that, and then the whole unit will come off. Why you need to take this whole unit off when it has this flip to the side feature, I don't know. The whole purpose of that is so that it's out of the way if you need to do other things, as I've explained already. But is that really a con? Do you really need to take this whole unit off for any reason? Personally, no. The fact that it's got a flip to side kind of negates that whole con that I just mentioned. But yes, it would still be nice and tactical if there was a quick release lever on the mount. That's number one. The only other criticism I would say with this particular unit, you see this whole flip to side mechanism right here where you push it down and it goes like that. Let me do it again. I really love it. I was just thinking, how long before this part of the mount right here starts to get weak and this sooner or later breaks off? Will that happen? I don't know. It seems pretty solid. It is made out of solid metal. But you know what? If you're weary about things like that, there's nothing wrong with doing it this way, releasing it and guiding it back with your hand like so. But not me, baby! It's all about the... Oh boy, I could do this all day. I tell you what, people, I'm absolutely loving this 4x flip to side magnifier. Now, if you're wondering why haven't I mentioned the make, the manufacturer of this bad boy right here, is because it's unbranded. Yes, it's one of those Chinese things, yeah? It's made in China, no brand name on it. There are some cheeky ones out there where they've actually put EOTech on the actual mount at the bottom. They're not actually made by EOTech. But anyway, these are your unbranded Chinese knockoffs, Chinese replicas, and you can get these on eBay. Just search for flip to side magnifier. And then you've got different magnifications on there, like I mentioned before, 3, 4, 5, whatever suits your budget. But it looks absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend the make because there is no make, but so far it's solid. It works, it does the job, and it does the thing that excites me the most, which is that. Little things, please, little minds. Anyway, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm Airsoft Mike, and I'll see you out there in the field very soon.